That is learning will be equally fruitful to all of us. May we never be jealous of each other. Peace, peace, peace. Now, we were in the chapter towards the end of the book, Kathopanishad, the wonderful spiritual text. Number 5. We have finished 5, so we will be in the 6th. Oh my, it is such a... What is that? Anyhow, this is the problem. It should be taken away. Some other arrangement is better. So we read the 5th verse, where what we learned so far, it has been given that in this life is a precious opportunity. And this is, I am on page 165. 165. We'll read there, but I am just going back 1 or 2 verses. Page 162, 163, like that. So we are very much inspired to know that Upanishad is asking us that before this body drops off, that means before we die, it is, if you don't realize the spiritual nature of us, then what a great loss. Because we know only we are all limited human beings. We cry and weep every day for petty loss and gain, disease and death, bereavement and pain. It is a loss if we die like this, like an animal, like a creature, helplessly. That's why Upanishad, the sages, the rishis, they are giving this great call. That on the page 162, there we read, Yuhachet asakat buddhum. In this life, here and now, if you fail to realize the truth, that you are divine, that you are the birthless, deathless, absolute, unchanging truth. If you forget this, then before your body falls, then you have to be born again and again and again in the cycle of birth and death. Because all the time you will feel you are incomplete, you are incomplete, you are incomplete. And that will haunt you to be born again, because you will have desire. Desire will push you to have another body, to experience something new, unless you realize that you are something more than what you are feeling about yourself. So this is the call, to have that experience here and now. Not in the heaven. Don't believe in heaven. What is the proof that there is heaven or not? The greatest proof is that here I have experienced the truth. I see God directly. I feel that I am the divine. That is the call of the sages. Grand call for all of us. It is not saying you are Hindu, or you are Muslim, or you are Christian, or you are Jew. No question of that. Human birth is rare and great opportunity, and who does not take this opportunity is really a miserable person in the world. So have that experience here and now. What a bold approach to life. And know your own dignity. Feel that you are more than you think about you. Feel that what people talk about you is not you. They're talking of your body, they're talking of your emotions, they're talking of your intellect, they're talking of your other faculties, but not you, who is divine, birthless, deathless, infinite, absolute. So that was the call. Then also they gave some reason why you need to have that here and now. Why not in the heaven? Why not in some higher plane? Next verse, 5th, which you have read on page 163. There you see there, the translation is on the page 164, in the top. That says that if you have experience here, it will be like that experience is the brightest experience, tangible, vital, vibrant experience. Your every pore of your body will feel the thrill of joy, limitless joy, absolute joy, unending joy. If you have it here and now, you will have that. And if you don't have, then you don't feel that. You go to the heaven even, it will be lesser intensity. The joy will be felt less and lesser. And that's a give, as if you go to the plane of forefathers, like the Mormons think that after death we go to our forefathers, like a family. Huh? If you go to that plane, it's a higher plane than this. True. But there your experience will be like that. You are seeing as you see things in your dream. This experience is more intense than that the experience of the dream. So similarly, you realize God here and now, that experience is profound experience. And if you have any other higher plane also, if you go after death, because of your good karma, you can reach there. But that experience will be less tangible, like the dream experience versus the waking experience. And then you see, you go to the plane, higher plane. It's called the Gandharva Loka. Gandharva Loka of the artists, painters, musicians, mainly musicians. Gandharva Loka means. Musicians live in a different joyful world, is it not? You see, when anyone gets deep into music, they break all the other barriers. They live in another plane, is it not? If you go there, then what will be? You will feel like you see your own reflection in a pool. You stand before the pool and see your reflection. How tangible is that? Flickering. With the wave of the water, your body is also flickering like that. No? Understand the depth of experience or not? Huh? Are you understanding what this Upanishad is saying? The experience, intensity of experience. Do you understand the difference? Yes or no?
Yes.
Here, experience as I am seeing you. Suppose if I see you in dream, which is stronger? This or that? This. So he is saying that if you realize here and now, your experience will be the deepest experience, highest experience of joy and bliss. If you go in, even you have a good karma and you go to a higher plane, because you know Hindus have heaven, not one heaven, like Christian heaven or Muslim heaven. There is only one heaven. But here is many heaven, many levels of your enjoyment, fun and enjoyment. 5-star hotel, 4-star hotel, 3-star hotel. You go on according to your good karma and enjoy there. So if you go to the plane of the forefathers, there you will find that you are experiencing the joy of God. Most probably there is less chance of realizing God there, because there are fun zone. When you go to the fun zone, what happens? We also feel like going into the wheel. We also go to the boat ride. We have a desire. So there is less chance for meditation. Going to the fun zone or Disneyland, few people meditate there. All go for high ride, speed ride, you go to the Universal Studio and start meditating. What will you meditate upon? So there are many fun going on. So it is difficult first. Suppose with getting out of the difficulty, you concentrate on God and have God realization. Your God realization, these sages say, that you will experience less intensity. Not like that of here. It will be like a dream experience. Then it will be much less if you go into the plane of the musicians or the artists. They live in different plane, no? Artists and musicians, they don't live in the normal plane, in the mental plane. Even you go there and realize God, that will be like you are seeing your own reflection into the mirror, in the water. And even if you go to the higher plane, highest plane, just before merging into Brahman, you have just come up to this, 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 this. Here you stand. It will be like that. Shaya taporiva brahma loke. In the plane of Brahma, you will experience yourself like you feel your shadow and yourself. You and your shadow. Much less. You are you. Your shadow is a distorted figure, no? According to the position of the sun, it becomes long, 10 feet long. It may be 2 feet height. So it is all changing. It's very little expression of joy. So they are giving, what does it mean? Don't pay attention to these particular experiences, what is happening in different planes. The sages are saying, have it now. All emphasis of the Vedanta and Indian tradition is that have God realization here and now. Don't wait for next life. Don't wait for going to heaven, because heaven is not a good place. You will get frustrated. Afterwards you will get monotone. How many days you will have only singing and dancing? After singing and dancing will be dull. It has no attraction. You eat good food every day. Then you will like to have some ordinary pizza or something like that. So don't think heaven is a very pleasurable place, because it has its own monotony. It has its own limitation. So we need not have to wait for that. Have it now, and then if you want to go, see them. But have it here. So this is, Ramakrishna said, the goal of human life is God realization. In simple word, what has been said in the Upanishads with these verses, Ramakrishna said in very simple language. This goal of human life is God realization. Our scripture says that Jivan Mukti Sukha Prapti, to attain to that happiness and infinite joy of liberation while in the body. That is the goal of life. This human birth is not for crying and weeping, not for going to depression, not going to madness, but to realize that inexhaustible source of energy or joy which is inside, and feel that, yes, I am that. Who cares for anything in the world? Because it is so limited, so little in comparison to that experience of absolute joy. Okay, this is my preamble. Now, let us go to this today's reading. So, it is now the verse number 7 we'll read. Or what do you say? 6. Okay. Indriyanam pithak bhavam, page 165. Indriyanam pithak bhavam, udaya astamo yat, udaya astamayo yat, udaya astamayo yat, pithak utpadyamananam, pithak utpadyamananam, matva dhiro nashochati, matva dhiro nashochati. Again, indriyanam prithak bhavam, indriyanam prithak bhavam, uday astamayo jajat, uday astamayo jajat, prithak utpadyamananam, prithak utpadyamananam, matva dhiro nashochati, matva dhiro nashochati. So what does it mean? It means indriyanam, the senses. How many senses we have? 5 for perception and 5 for action. So indriyanam prithak bhavam, distinct nature. They have separate existence. Eye is for seeing only. I cannot hear. Ear is for only hearing. So it has a limited and specific connection. So they are of special nature. These are bhavam, means they have different nature. And udayo astamayo, that means it rises and sets according to the object we see around. That feeling comes for seeing something, hearing something. One thought comes, one goes. So these are all udaya astam. That means it rises and sets. Yet that which prithak, that which is separate, utpaddamananam, being produced in origin, matva, having understood this, dhiraha, this man of wisdom, na sochati, don't not grieves. That means a wise person, knowing all the separateness of the existence of the senses and their appearances and disappearances, to be other than the self. See, you should know, my self does not rise, does not fall. But my seeing may happen, or I may see something, I may not see something. I may hear something, may not hear something. I may taste something, may not taste something. Smell something, may not smell something. Touch something, may not touch something. But this is different from the self. Self is not affected with it. Self is behind. That means your real nature, divine nature, is separate. Simple sentence. Simple sentence, it is separate from all the senses. In one word, if I say, this verse means, feel that you are separate from the senses. If we know this, what a freedom will come. Just understand. Because I think that I am one with my senses. That's why what I see, I say, I have seen that. It is so serious. I can cry, I can weep, I can fight, I can do everything. I saw. I heard you said like that. You see, all the fight, even in the home or outside world, how it goes. You say some sweet word and you say some harsh word. These are words only. We get identified with that. Some sweet word, we dance and joy and ha ha hoo. And if someone says something strong, ha, we get afraid and we want to fight with it. No? So our connection is so intense with the sense and sense perceptions that we forget that no, I have a separate entity. It matters little what I hear, what I do. This is only hearing aid, instrument and the external sound. I am separate from that. It is a process of analysis. This is called science of Vedanta. It does not ask you to believe in God in the heaven or anywhere. You focus on your own experience. What are you doing? See how we are like a mad person playing every day with whatever I see, whatever I feel, whatever I hear, whatever I touch, whatever I smell, whatever I taste. And we are involved into it, forgetting that I have a separate existence. I am experiencing joy. I am experiencing this bad sound. I am experiencing this good sound. I am separate, experiencing this object. So try to understand that you are prithak bhavam. You are separate. The self is separate. It is not contaminated by any of the failures of or any frustration or any of the joys and excitement which the sensitive universe can give us. Is it very simple thing, is it not? That is called Vedanta. Vedanta is to only understand I am untouched by anything, any pollution or any happiness, any misery. I am happiness myself. I am joy myself. I am bliss absolute. But the sensitive experiences are prithak, separate. I saw, I was so happy. Oh, I saw a terrible thing. I am afraid. So I am mixing myself to be fearful with the things happening in the outside in the sensitive universe. But I am as consciousness. I am giving support to the experience what is happening. Who is experiencing? I and the self witness. In devotion we say God is witnessing everything. In devotion people say God is seated in the heart of all. You can hide everything from everybody, but you cannot hide from God who is seated here. He knows everything. Every good action, every bad action, every anger, every frustration, you cannot hide from that because He is the witness. He is the consciousness With that light only we experience our external experiences. How is this? Any question on this?
Can you give an example of practical application? I mean, because, like, say somebody you're close to gets bad news about their health, and so naturally you would feel sad.
You feel bad.
Yeah.
That much. But you say, I feel means my mind is feeling bad. I am not. How many things has come before me? Bad, good, this, that. Momentarily I was identified, that's why I cried, wept, and danced and sang. But I am the same person. This is a practical application of Vedanta every day. Yes, I experience that. Because my mind is connected with the external. And mind is supported by the consciousness.
But at the same time, we are all one. So if someone else...
One in the subconscious, in this background level.
Right.
But what I am, that consciousness in behind you, the same consciousness, plus your body, your mind, your emotions, your intellect, these are the package. And I have another package. And when that same light comes out through this package and to my package, we perceive the thing different. If I was in the same range of your mind, two mind resonate, there is no conflict. So, because our mind is conflicted, because our mind is pure or impure, the degree of purity and impurity. Impurity means negative thoughts. Purity means positive thinking. So, depending on that, our perception, our reaction changes. But that no reaction is possible without the presence of that consciousness.
So are you saying that instead of reacting, oh, I'm so sad, this is so terrible, we should react within ourselves as we know the reality of the situation, that it's all Maya and it's not?
No, we'll have to say it is happening in the mind level. It is happening in the body level, but I am not. I live in the body. Naturally, I get affected. Suppose I am living in this room, and if water pours here, and I will feel the trouble of it. But I am not the building. I am not the roof.
So we can know that for the other.
That is the analysis. You have to say, always say, hey, it is happening. I am in this room. That's the Upanishad has already read. This body is like a chariot. And senses are like this, and mind is like that. They have given an example. So in this body car, this body is like a car. Inside the master is sitting somewhere. Because of him, his will, the Uber. You call Uber. What Uber does? You call Uber comes. Then he says, sir, what shall I go? And then you put the address and then take you there. The Uber driver is driving. Yes, you can feel the jerk of it, or you can feel the smooth drive of it, because you are sitting there. But you have to say, I am not the car. I am not the driver. So if I know that, my identification will be less, and my intense reactions will reduce. I will be there, non-reactive. I will be more and more non-reactive. Because I know I am for a small trip, I am going in this Uber car, and it will drop me somewhere, my destination of this life. This life's Uber car is this one. You have asked the car to start, hey, let us go somewhere. And the car is going. But in the journey, the path is little bumpy, or smooth, beautiful scene, or ugly scene. But it is only travel. But you are not affected. The scene is coming and going. You are sitting in the car. Our life's journey is moving like that. One scene comes, another scene comes, and you are moving. Look at that from morning till now. How many scene has come? How many good scenario, bad scenario has come? But they're gone. But we live in memory. That's why we cry and weep, or we rejoice. That is gone. But we are living in memory means I'm holding on to that experience. But you are standing in another experience now. So if we understand that we are going through the different experiences only, but I, the experiencer, is undisturbed. I am only observing. Things are coming. Momentarily, it seems that I am affected. But by that time, it goes away. If we analyze, we find that we are unattached. We go to meditate sometimes in Swamiji house. I am unattached. Asangoham, 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 punah punah. I am unattached, I am unattached, I am unattached. Huh? I know that I am in it, but I am maybe feeling a little shocked because of my existence here, but it does not bother me. So this is spiritual life. Spiritual life, people think, as Holy Mother said, what will happen to you if you grow? Will you grow to horns because you are spiritual? Because you are trying to realize God, what does it mean? You will find that tomorrow 1 inch, some hair, horn is coming up, 2 inches, 3 inches, huh? Then you are spiritual. No, you will be aware of your divine consciousness. Huh? That's the point. Be aware. Who are you? Whole Vedanta teaches this. It's a very simple thing. For Vedanta student, this God realization, spiritual life is very simple. There is no humbug in it. You may see some ghost. It does not change your life. It's meaningless. You may have some vision. It has some light. What does it mean? Yes, it's a good thing. You have it. But if it does not change your life and you feel that you are free, you are not bound by these circumstances, then nothing is happening. Consciousness. Holy Mother said, Gyan Chaitanya Hoy. You attain knowledge and awareness of that you are something different. This much only happens. Ramakrishna said on the 1st of January, what more shall I say? I bless that all of you attain that awareness. তোমাদের জ্ঞান চৈতন্য হোক. You be awakened into your own divine consciousness. That is the thing.
So is us being aware of someone else's divine consciousness, is that helping them or is it just helping us?
First of all, if you are doing that, your vibration will help them. As we feel scared before a person whose mind is very in a dull level, that affects our mind, is it not? Similarly, if we go to a person who has lifted the mind in that level, their vibration will help us. So it is really great help. Swami Vivekananda said, even one monk or one saint sitting in the deepest cave of Himalayas, he is doing great job to the world, rather than I am speaking before you. Why? Because his thought currents, his level of thought will penetrate the rocks and mountains, and it is touching all the hearts of the people in the world, and like a wave. Who is receptive? You get, like all the waves are here. You have a screen and you have a television. So you click 15, you see what is going on in 15 channel, you'll find it here. But I don't see it anything. Because you have an instrument. So if your instrument is resonated and synchronized with that vibration, you can feel here sitting that your joy is increasing by just the mere blessings of them. So we have to be good receptors. As our food goes into the bloodstream, what happens? You know, all the different types of medical science. What does it say? All the different types of cells, what is called, they come and they grab their own food out of the same, and they nurture themselves, and that gives us the health or health disorder. So we should be receptive of holy thought. There are people who are receptive of evil thought, negative thought. So we should have to be receptor of the thought of the divine consciousness. So as we can tune ourselves into that level, so whoever is thinking in the whole world, any lofty thought, that thought is helping me, and my thought will help them. See, this is the temple. You people come over here, and I have heard from many people, oh, it is a wonderful place. When I come, what a peace. Who has created this peace? What is the peace here? It's just any place in Hollywood. But here, because the holy vibration of all your meditation, for last 80 years or more, how many monks, holy people have come and blessed this place, they meditated. Their vibration is tangible here. But some may feel, some may not feel. One should be tuned to that level, then it resonates so fast, they get overwhelmed with the energy. And those who are very dull, they don't feel anything. So this is the point, our preparation of the mind. So spiritual life is like that. To understand our daily experience is a sensate experience. It's good and bad, affects us momentarily, but I am as consciousness unaffected by that. I am the same. You know, this is the same thing all the Upanishad talking, all the Aparakshanubhuti is talking, all Vedanta Sutras are talking. The same thing. Vedanta is very simple, but we have to understand it in again and again meditating and focusing, hearing. That's why hearing, to brainwash. Our brain should be washed. Much dust and dirt has gathered there. Diverse thoughts, discomforting thoughts are created cobwebs there. So we need to clean that by always thinking that I am the witness, separate from the sense and sense experience. I am untarnished by any of the good thought or bad thought of the mind, any of the thing done by body. I am not tarnished by that. But that does not mean, okay, I am not tarnished, let me do the bad thing again. One should not take advantage of that type of argument. Some Vedanta student mistake Vedanta in that way. I am Atman. Okay, so what is that? Whatever I do, my body does, I don't do. That will not happen. Body does, body will get the punishment. That story. One Vedanta student did something wrong, and he went to the court, and he was drawn to the court, and the judge punished him for something. Then he, Vedanta student, said, I didn't do anything, sir. I'm Atman. So I didn't do. Then who did? No, my hand may have done. Or my body has done. Then the judge said, yes, I'm not punishing Atman. I'm punishing the hand. I'm punishing the body. So body has done, body will have to have the punishment. So this is the real spirit, that it is true that it is happening through the body and mind, but we'll have to rise above body and mind and always charge ourselves with the witness consciousness. Witness consciousness, that consciousness which is all the time there. When I am seeing you, now it is there. When I sleep in the night, he observes my sleep. He says, I slept. He observes my dream. I dreamed. So how do you know you dreamt? Someone has observed your dream. And that I is standing all the time, 24/7, for 365 days, for all through your life, and before and after. Only we forgot what is happening in the last life. And people cannot say what happens after death. But at least this is definite proof that I have witnessed all the scenes from my birth till today. May have forgotten. But that observer, you say, when I was a child, it happened with me. How do you know it happened to you too? Who observed that? Third party from outside? Or in your heart there is some observer? Every experience there is some observer. So that is called the Atman, which does not change, which is all the time there. It is just back calculation. It's very realistic science. Vedanta is a very realistic science. That you only depend on your own experience. not to believe in any book. Because my book says you will have to do. There is no such dictate. You trust, analyze, and experience your own happenings every day and see what is going on in you and be aware of that and then learn that you are unchangeable. Every day we can at least intellectually come to this conclusion that I cannot be the experience, I am the experiencer. Is there any doubt on this point? Normally it should not be. But we forget, matters little. Forgetting is not a question. But do you intellectually think that it is irrational or rational? Rational. Let us be rational person first. Belief is a very bad term. If it is belief in wrong things, then that is also belief. But belief should be coordinated with our experience and rationality. Discard that. Why science discards many things? It is irrational. Why people become atheists? Because they don't find many meanings of what the scriptures and books say. But if you give them the right understanding, there is no atheist in the world. There cannot be any atheist. You will have to believe first, I am here. You deny yourself, then you are atheist. You cannot deny yourself. You can deny the whole world. But who is saying there is this world? Who says that I don't believe in God? Does it not need any consciousness? To go back to that consciousness. Then how can you be denying that consciousness? So this is the point. Analyze, analyze. Vedanta says analyze, analyze, reason, reason, reason. And go to your daily experience and be convinced there must be some consciousness. Otherwise this functionality is impossible. Okay, so what does it then say? It says that, let us read quickly. The sense organs have a, page 166, the sense organs have a separate origin in that they are products of the elements. They are active when an individual is awake. They are idle when one is sleeping. A truly wise person knows that the self capital is independent of the sense organs, and he is therefore no longer susceptible to sorrow. Sorrow happens to the what? That person knows sorrow happens to the sensate experience. No. We have a good food, sensate experience, I am happy. If I bite some chili, strong chili, and my tongue burns, then I feel sad. It is all sensate experience. Experience is happening because of the consciousness. But experience plus the sensate touch, that is giving me the feeling of joy, opposites. But if we can go beyond that, no opposite, it is only that bliss. That's why Vedanta says you go back to your own self, that is the eternal bliss. An ignorant person thinks that his body, along with the organs, is his self. As we all understand, who am I? Huh? You teach the children. Who are you? What is your name? Then baby says the name. Who are you? Where are you? How many eyes you have? I have 2 eyes, ears, this, that. This is me. We teach every child that you are the body, you are the eyes, you are the nose, you are this, you are that, you are that, you are that. Who teaches that you are Atma? Who teaches that you are self-luminous and self-conscious reality? So, ignorant people as we are, they think that this body, along with these organs, is myself, capital self, as it is me, real me. This, of course, is a mistake. The capital self has nothing to do with the body and its organs, except that they are its tools, and it maybe sometimes use them. We use the tools. Sometimes you use your eyes, sometimes you sleep, you don't use the eyes. You use your ear, sometimes you meditate, you use ear plug. No? You go to some people cannot bear the high flight in the plane, they put some plug in their ears. No? So you can use it, you can not use it. So a tool. So tool is for your use or not use. It may sometimes use them. The self is always independent. Huh? You cannot go without yourself, real self. You can do everything, but minus self, it is a dead body.
Can we use the major self to realize the big self?
No, no. Yes, that is the opposite way. You take a turn and then go back. Real self is there.
In the small mind, I'm dealing with words, and words are objects, and they're not going to get
Yeah,
there.
yeah. Words and words.
You
And that.
speak of joy and bliss. That's beyond words. That's not a thinking thing.
Yeah,
That's
that.
jumping in.
So the mind will drop there. That's why you have to go beyond mind. Mind will drop. Body consciousness will drop. Then the spiritual awakening comes. That's why Shankaracharya always teaches, I am not the body, not the mind, I am the self, I am the self. No.
We're caught up in images, but we could throw away the images and use imagination. We can become Shiva, we can become God or something, and lead from that perspective.
Yeah, we go on and on and on. Then what will remain? That will remain. All will drop. It's a journey, no? Like that, the rocket, launching rocket. So many things are there, no? And give a boosting. Boom! Many things remain in the back. Then you go into high altitude at a certain point. And then there is a timing and everything set like that. And there is a boom! And so many things leave behind. Go on. Then what will be the last point? The satellite. And then that starts in its orbit set. And the scientists are very happy. So spiritual scientists will do like that. We are all jumped up with so many things. Give a boosting. Boom! And some things, body remains bottom. It flies in the mind level. Okay. You go to the mind, drop the mind. Let it go at the buddhi level, intellect. Then boom, let it drop. Ego level, I. And then give the last boom. Then I drops. What remains? The satellite itself. The satellite itself. God has given more examples before us. The organs are derived from the 5 elements. Say our organs, eyes, ears, they are all made of 5 elements. Space, what are the 5 elements? Space, air, fire, water, and earth. In that order, the organs of hearing is from the space, because in the space I make a sound and you hear it. So ear is connected with the space. Then touch is in the air. Air touches your body, you can feel the touch. The skin. Seeing, eyes are from the fire. That's why you go, fiery eyes. People say, fiery eyes. So fire and eyes are connected together. Tasting the tongue and smelling the nose. The corresponding organs represent the elements in their subtle form, sattvika form. These organs are all organs of perception. The elements in them, their rajasic or grosser form, are represented by, as I said, 5 organs of perception and 5 organs of action. Hand, feet, all these. So see, what are that? These organs are the organs of perception. Now the elements in their rajasic or form, represented by speech, hand, feet, the organs of evacuation, and the organ of procreation. These are the organs of action. The mind is, however, produced by all the elements combined in the sattvika form. Anyhow, mind is their master. 5 organs of senses, perception. I see, I hear, I understand, I touch, I taste, like that. And how I do? With my hand, with my feet, with my other organs. So these are the 5, 10. And mind is master, is the boss of this 10. Unless mind connects with anyone, no one can function. Suppose you are sitting here and you are looking at me, I am talking, but you are thinking something else. My words will go and hit your eardrum, but it will not listen anything. Because line engaged. The mind is connected, doing business with some other organ. So, mind is the boss of the 10 organs. That's called 11 organs, it is called. The organs are all inanimate. The eyes, that's why doctors, I have my retina, some problem, doctors will fix it. If it is the Atman, no one can fix that. Is it not? My heart, something happening. Yeah, it's happening. They will refix it, cut it, do it, whatever they like. Make it set. Because it is inanimate. Understand? If it is self-luminous or self-animated, no one can touch that. Sun, you cannot act on the sun, anything. But sun's effect, you are influenced by the sun. But you cannot manipulate the sun from here. You have not that power. So similarly, self-luminous Atman, no one can animate or no one can disturb that or change it. So it is said the organs are all inanimate. This is to be understood. That's called jara. Technical Sanskrit term, jara. Jara means matter. Matter and consciousness. Matter is potato, rice, dal, lentil, water, and you put in a pot. This is all matter. These are all matter. But matter becomes heated. You say, oh my, it is hot, it is hot. Rice is hot. Rice cannot be hot. Rice, the heat has been transmitted from the burner. Heat belongs to not to the potato, but potato is hot. Inanimate becomes animated by the touch of this. So they have the same reason, they are also perishable. Because it is inanimate, the senses, eyes, that's why it perishes. When we die, eyes can stay some time and then it will, all the organs, that's why they, organ transplant, they have to be very serious within certain time, how to do that within that period and keep the body in this way, that way. Otherwise it will perishable. This nice body, we love it so much, but when that consciousness goes, no one keeps it at home. Immediately you call mortuary people will carry it and put it in deep fridge. Otherwise it will smell nice. So it is all inanimate. The proving that these are all inanimate. They are not animate, they are not self-conscious. So when they have a beginning and they have an end, they are perishable, and individual is awake of the organs, they are active. When he is sleeping, they are all inert. Now it is active. When you sleep, your eyes don't see, your hands don't function. It is there, but they are all almost inanimate. But when you wake up, consciousness flows through it, then everything is working. It must be clearly understood that the self capital is independent of the organs. The self is pure consciousness, but the organs are inanimate. They can work only if the self wishes them to. Only your boiling of the cooked food will be, or cooking of the food will be when you put into the oven and put the burner on. If the burner is not on, your food will not be cooked. It will not jump. It will not dance. It will not be hot. So when you see the heat of the body, don't think it is body's own heat. It is transmitted from that consciousness to the mind, to the body, like that. If the self leaves the body, capital, which it does when death overtakes a person, the organs may all be intact, but they do not function. This shows that the organs are helpless without the self. It's a beautiful thing. Organs cannot function without the self, but self can function without the organs. Is it not? The ocean can remain without the wave, but waves cannot remain without ocean. Is it true? Unless the ocean is there, how can it be wave? How can it be ripple? How can it be bubble? But bubble can be there when the ocean is there. Ocean can be there without the bubble, but bubble cannot be there without the ocean. So consciousness can be there without the sense organs, without the mind, without the intellect. They can remain. That is unchanging reality. But the senses cannot function without the support of the consciousness. It's very simple. The self has no beginning or end, as the organs do. It is always the same. An ignorant person thinks that the body-mind complex is his real self. The body-mind complex is subject to pain and pleasure, and because of a person identifies himself with the body-mind complex, he is also subject to pain and pleasure. We are subject to pain and pleasure because we identify with my experience of the eyes, experience of the ears, what I talked about before. But a wise person knows that he is the capital self, always the same and beyond pain and pleasure. He is therefore never susceptible to sorrow. So we want to be beyond sorrow? Though we'll have to stand on the self. You want to be in the world of pain and suffering and joy and dance and both ways? Okay, go to the path of the senses. Is it clear now? What you want? Accordingly, you move. If you want to be happy this moment and unhappy that moment, joyful this moment and depressed another moment, go to the path of senses. And if you want to be always in bliss, then come back through the senses to your own self. There is no alternative there. That we call love God, pray to God. These are devotional terms. Vedantic term, come back to your home. That is your eternal home. This is a temporary home. All of us know. This temporary home may be for somebody 10 years, 20 years, some maybe 50 years, some maybe 70 years, some maybe 100 years. But this house is to be forfeited. It has this lease period. When the lease is over, get out. Eviction notice will come. And if you don't want to go, then they will call police and get out. No mercy on that. Last moment when death comes, one of our sister, Nan, who used to give wonderful class here, Vivekopanaji, she is almost in the verge of leaving the body. Maybe today, tomorrow, that is the situation. So look at that. Who is living? That is, her body is living. But she remains in her own consciousness, no? Consciousness remains without the body even. You can stay without staying in the Uber. You can be out. So Uber is only a temporary arrangement. This Uber is a temporary one trip. Uber is going everywhere. And one trip it takes you here. And then it goes. And then again another person calls, go here. So we are all running on Uber journey. One trip, another trip. That's called one life, another life, another life. And then try to find joy, peace, happiness. And trying. And sometimes fed up. Then try to find out what is happening. Now the sages are helping us to understand our life and giving us a direction where to find our real divine self, untouched by any suffering, pain, and joys. We have to work on that. And what to work? Here and now. All the young people think, I have enough life. I'll do it when I become old. All the young people, they go, and they're elderly people, they also teach, hey, why are you going to temple so much? Why are you thinking of this? Are you crazy? Go, sing, dance, and cry like us. They don't say that much. They say, oh, enjoy life, enjoy. Enjoy means cry like us. We have enough cry, but we don't care for that. You also fall in our party. But who calls for the God party? So that is the point. It's call. The sages are very kind. They are calling us to have this journey here and now. Okay, so thank you all. And almost time now. Oh, we have crossed. Oh my, we have crossed the time. So let us end with the prayer. Same. Om Shahana Bhavatu Shahano Bhunaktu Shaha Viryam Karavavahai Tejashvinavadhitamastu Ma Vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Harihi Om Tat Sat Shri Ram Krishna Panam Astu. So again to say that Thursday afternoon 4:30 class is cancelled. So we'll have our 4:30 class on Tuesday again. And Tuesday we'll have both the classes 4:30 and 7:30 like today. Okay? You are all welcome. Please come. And if you have any question, I will request that please ask in between. Whenever we are reading something, it will be more interactive, and I think that is more enjoyable rather than I am speaking from one angle. When your perspective comes, it makes it more, I think, more profound and reasonable. Thank you.